Hi everyone, and welcome to section 8.6, which basically involves solving rational equations. If you're asking the question, hey, what happened to 8.5? You're not wrong. We're skipping it because we only have about a week and a half left of school. Yay! So we're just going to wrap this up, and then we're going to do kind of like a hybrid chapter 9, chapter 10 situation next week, and then that'll be it. Getting ready for finals. So here we go. Okay, so we just learned how to use LCD for rational equations, right? For rational expressions. But, before we do that, we can talk about what's the difference between a rational expression and a rational equation. Rational expression does not have an equal sign. That's why it's called an expression. Just like when you have a sentence and you do not have punctuation, final punctuation, it's called an expression, or it's not a complete sentence, right? So a rational equation involves an equal sign. Okay, so before we get into solving them, we have here we have to define extraneous solution. So an extra solution, or a restriction, right, is a solution that would cause any of the expressions to be undefined in the original equation. So let's say, for example, here, basically we cannot divide by 0. So in this first one, x cannot be 0, right? Because if we had 0, we would end up with something undefined. So the trick here is I'm going to show you, first thing, we're going to find the LCD like we did before. So here's 6x. Right? So that's 6x. Now the second step is to multiply everything by that LCD. So that means 6x times 1 over x plus 6x times 1/3. And that's going to equal 6x times 5 over 6. Now notice, because we multiply by the LCD, this will reduce, right? Everything's going to clear out the fractions. Basically, the fractions will be cleared. So you have 6 times 1, that's 6. 2x for the next term. 2x times 1 is just 2x. And then 5 times x, that's 5x. So now we just solve for x. And as long as we don't get 0 for the answer, we're good. So divide both sides by 3, and we get x is equal to 2. Okay? Basically in words, we first have to know any of the variable values that would make the denominator 0, find the LCD, clear the fractions by multiplying both sides by the LCD, solve the equation, and then make sure that if any of the values found are extraneous solutions, discard them, right? They're extra solutions, right? I think this means extraneous. Typo. It's okay. All right, so here my LCD is y squared. So let's multiply everything by y squared. And you would get what? You would get y squared for the top times 1. That's y squared. Y squared times y, that's going to cancel out one of the y's, and you're going to get 5y. And then here, the y squared will cancel out, and you're going to get equals -6. Okay? So let's move that over. And then we get y squared minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay? So then let's factor this. What are the two factors of +6 that combine to become -5? If you said -2 and -3, you're correct. So y minus 2, y minus 3. Okay, now we have that's equal to 0. So 0 product property, right? That means that y minus 2 could be 0, y minus 3 is 0. So let's solve. And we get y is equal to 2. And y is equal to 3. Now, a common question that I get here usually is, well, do I need to write it out every time? If I can just tell from here, from this point, that the answer is 2 and 3, you're fine. Yeah, you don't have to write this out every time. Since none of these are 0, we're good. Those are the answers. Okay, how about this? So what is my LCD for this? My LCD is just going to be 2u times 3u minus 2. Okay, so if I multiply everything by that, I have 2u times 3u minus 2 times 5. I'm going to write this out this time so you can see here how nice it cancels out. So I'm multiplying again by the LCD every single term. And then we factor out. So notice this is over 1. This is over 1. These will cancel. You're going to get 10u on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, this will cancel out, and you get 3 times 3u minus 2. And then that becomes, let's go ahead and distribute this and solve for the variable. So we have 10u is equal to 9u minus 6 minus 9u minus 9u. And you get u is equal to negative 6. And that's, it wasn't one of the restrictions. Oh, we didn't figure out the restrictions. Sorry. So 3u minus 2 cannot be 0, and 2u cannot be 0. So that just means that u can't be 0. U cannot be 0. U cannot be 0. The letter u, not the word u. Haha. So 3u is equal to 2, or does not equal 2. And so 3u cannot be 2/3. But we don't even have to worry about that because u is equal to negative 6, and that's it. Okay, cool. So now here, what is the LCD? So the LCD is p minus 2, p plus 2. Because this one has both, right? So what we need to do now is figure out what's missing, right? Or just multiply, sorry, just multiply everything by the LCD. So we get p minus 2, p plus 2, I said that backwards, but you get it, times 2 over p plus 2, plus, and then the LCD again. So I'm writing it out just in case you can't see why we're canceling out certain things, but at some point, you don't have to write this out every single time if you can see it clearly and correctly, because sometimes people don't want to write things out because for whatever reason, but if they, I don't know, I'm all about getting, making sure you have the correct answer. So if writing a little bit helps you get there, then by all means. So see, it's very clear why we're factoring that out. So 2 times, canceling that out, p minus 2 for the first term plus, here the p minus 2's cancel out, so you get 4 times p plus 2 equals, here the entire LCD gets canceled out, and you get p minus 1. So let's distribute and that fun stuff. Okay, so we get 2p minus 4 plus 4p plus 8 is equal to p minus 1. Let's combine like terms. We get 6p plus 4. These combine to positive 4 is equal to p minus 1. So subtracting the 4 from both sides, and subtracting the p, we get 5p is equal to negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5 today. And then we just divide by the coefficient, and you get p is equal to negative 1. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's do another one here. How about this one? Q minus 4, Q minus 3. So right away, Q cannot be 3 or 4. The other one I didn't do, it was 2 or negative 2, sorry. So let's just keep that in mind. Our LCD is also Q minus 3 times Q minus 4. 4 times Q minus 3. So multiplying everything by that, we get Q minus 4, Q minus 3 times 4 over Q minus 4 minus, and then the LCD again, Q minus 4, Q minus 3 times 3 over Q minus 3 is equal to Q minus 4, Q minus 3, because times 1 is just that. So these will cancel here. We get 4 times Q minus 3 for the first term, and then minus the Q minus 3's cancel, and you're left with 3 times Q minus 4 equals, and then that's Q minus 3, Q minus 4, or Q minus 4, Q minus 3, minus 3. Okay, so now we need to multiply everything out, right? Nice and easy. And then this one will be box, or however you want to do it. So 4Q minus 12 minus 3Q plus 12 is equal to Q squared minus 7Q plus 12. Okay, so let's start reducing things. These cancel. 4Q minus 3Q is Q. We get Q squared minus 7Q plus 12 So let me solve it for 0 since it's a quadratic. 0 equals q squared minus 8q, it's a terrible q, plus 12. What are the two factors of 12 that combine to negative 8? Positive 12 that combine to become negative 8, negative 6 and negative 2. So that means that q is equal to positive 2, positive 6. Okay. Cool. Let's do, let's see. Let's do something more challenging here. So how about this one? We have here x over 2, x minus 2, minus 2 over 3x plus 3, all over 5x squared minus 2x plus 9 over 12x squared minus 12. So let's factor everything out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have x over 2 times x minus 1 minus 2 over 3 times the quantity x plus 1 equals, and then we have, let's see, can we factor this or should we leave it as is? We'll probably, let's see, factor this as well. So we have 5x squared minus 2x plus 9. So what does that factor to become? You can go ahead and do AC method, right? That would be 45. What does that combine to become negative 2? Factors of positive 45 that equal negative 2. So actually this isn't factorable. Doesn't look like it's easily factored. So let's just leave it as is. It's probably going to be combined with something else. X squared minus 2x plus 9 all over. Divide out the 12. We get x squared minus 1, which we know is the same as difference of squares, right? So x squared plus 1, x squared minus 1. I mean, x plus 1, x minus 1, sorry. I don't know why I said squared so many times. So 12, 3, and 2, the LCD of those three is 12. Okay, and then of course the rest is just x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay, so now I'm multiplying this LCD by everything, by this, this, and this. So if you can do that, so you're basically going 12 times x plus 1, x minus 1, multiply x over 2 times x minus 1, okay, and then a minus, and then you have, again, the LCD, 12 x plus 1, x minus 1, times the fraction 2 over 3 x minus 1, plus 1, sorry, and then equals, and then you have, basically this is going to be the LCD over, it's going to cancel out, but that's fine. 5x squared minus 2x plus 9 over 12 x plus 1, x minus 1. And then we're going to multiply that by the LCD also, 12 x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay, so let's cancel things out now. That's the fun part. These will cancel out. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So what's left is 6x times x plus 1 minus, what cancels out here? 3 goes into 12 4 times, and x plus 1 cancels out. We're left with 2 times 4, which is 8, times the quantity x minus 1, okay? And then the last one, the whole denominator cancels out with the LCD, and then you're just left with 5x squared minus 2x plus 9. So let's go ahead and distribute and combine like terms, and let's see what happens. So we have 6x squared plus 6x minus 8x plus 8 equals 5x squared minus 2x plus 9. Combining like terms, so these together, and then you have the 8, and let's move it over because this is 6x squared, or should we do, maybe we should go the other way so we can avoid the negative possibly. Okay, so we have here 6x squared plus, this is a negative, minus 2x, minus 2x plus 8 is equal to 5x squared minus 2x plus 9. Oh, I see. This is going to cancel some stuff out. So let's subtract 5x squared to both sides because we want to cancel out the x squared term from one side. Let's add the 2x to both sides. That's going to actually cancel these out. And let's subtract 9. So we're left with x squared minus 1 equals 0. So that factors out too. So x squared minus 1 equaling 0 becomes x plus 1, x minus 1 equals 0. But the answers to that are plus or minus 1, right? But this is a problem because notice that it's in the denominator, right? We cannot let x cannot be negative 1 or positive 1. But it is like the algebraic answer turned out to be that. So in this case, we have no solution. Okay, so no solution. Okie dokie. Here, let me just, sorry. It's kind of getting in the way of the work here. So let me just do that for anybody that's like, hey, you wrote on that. So no solution. I'll just shorten it. Okay, another thing that we need to be able to do in this section is solve equations for certain variables. So here you have the ratio d over t is equal to r. So we need to solve for t. So the first thing we need to do is get this out of the denominator by multiplying both sides by t. So you get dt is dt, oh sorry, you get just d, why just d? Because the t's cancel out, is equal to r times t. Then we want to solve for t, so divide both sides by r. So what we're doing, basically, we're treating the variables like as if they were numbers, and we're fine. So t is equal to d over r. Or you could write it this way. That's probably best. Okay, so there we go. So now let's see here. We have m times x minus 2 over y minus 3 for y. So you would multiply both sides by y minus 3 to get the y out of the denominator. Okay, so on the left you have m times y minus 3 is equal to, and these will cancel out, and you get x minus 2. So distributing the m, we get my 3m is equal to x minus 2. So I'm just going to add 3m to both sides, okay, and I get my on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side I get 3m plus x minus 2. And finally, to solve for y, we divide both sides by m, the entire both sides, right? So then this is my answer. Y is equal to 3m plus x minus 2 all over m. Okay, cool. Let's do one more of these. 1 over c times 1 over m is equal to 1. Let's solve for c. So why don't we multiply everything by the LCD to get rid of the fractions? So the LCD would be cm. So multiply everything here by cm. So times cm times cm times cm. We're going to get, for the first term, m plus the second term, c, because it's times 1, is equal to cm. Now we want the c's to be together. So we get m is equal to cm minus c. So we're solving for c, so let's factor it out. Let's factor the c out. So then you get m is equal to c times the quantity m minus 1. So then you divide both sides by m minus 1, because that's just a factor. Okay, and your final answer, c is equal to m over m minus 1. Okay, so that's it for 8.6 and the chapter 8. So good luck, happy studying, and I will see you on the next video.